We have reports that Organised Labour have called on Nigerians to be patient with the federal government and the state government following the delay in the implementation of the new minimum wage. This was even as the Workers' Union absolved the president of the federal government of any wrongdoing, saying it would be unfair to conclude that there was a deliberate attempt to avoid paying the new minimum wage. I mean, Nigerians have been waiting and they've been wondering what the delay is about. The deputy president of the Nigerian Labour Congress Political Commission, Professor Theophilus Ndubuaku, stated this in an interview with correspondents on Monday. Now, President Bola Tinubu signed the new minimum wage into law on July 29 after meeting with leaders of the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria. Newsmen report that only 7 other states, that's Kano, Kwara, Ogun State, Borno, Jigawa, Ondo, and Abia, have set up implementation committees for the recently approved 70,000 naira minimum wage. The states that are yet to raise implementation panels are Plateau State, Kebbi State, Sokoto State, Nasarawa, Bayelsa, Delta, Osun, Ekiti, Zamfara, Benue, Enugu, Taraba, Gombe, Kogi, Enugu again, Adamawa, Niger State, Anambra, Imo, Ebonyi, Oyo, Akwa Ibom, Bauchi, Katsina, Kaduna, Cross River, and Yobe. We didn't hear River State being mentioned in any of them. But meanwhile, Adamawa government has also joined the growing list of states that are willing to pay the new minimum wage on Monday. He stated, however, that it was important to let people know that there might be a slight delay as a result of the processes involved in the implementation of the new wage. Nevertheless, the union leader expressed optimism that the process may be concluded by the end of August. He said, "We have no reason to suspect the deliberate delay. In a real sense, signing the wage is just a small component of the main activity. There is something we call consequential adjustment that involves the calculation of the minimum wage from level 1, that's step 1. From there, we then move from stage 1 to 13, all the way to level 16. So it is something that may take some time. Again, they are not going to compile them alone. They are templates for compiling, but they must also carry us along. I believe you are aware that there is a committee that is supposed to carry out the necessary adjustments, and then we're expecting that it should be completed before the end of this month. So for Nigerians who have been wondering, even youth core members who have been wondering what's going on, is this looking, are you seeing a deliberate delay here?
Ab initio, some governors said they won't be able to pay this minimum wage.
Yes, sadly.
Now, looking at it now, it is demonic not to pay this minimum wage. Over time, Nigeria have gone borrowing money from China and other vices. Now, when you go borrowing to sorrow, why am I saying borrowing to sorrow? You don't borrow for production, you borrow to spend. And some people are saying that they cannot even pay this 70,000 minimum wage. What was NLC agitating for before? 650,000. And it has come down to 70,000, right? Now, even at that, the 70,000 naira have been categorized. And it's not going to come, even as I told you, from the body chemistry now. As this money will be coming, they are not saying that they are going to break it down into different spectra. Level by level, is it not? So there is every tendency that there are people that won't even get the minimum wage now until their time is ripe enough for it. And I think these are the factors they must have moderated to be able to say we are paying. Look at the number of states that have agreed that they will pay. Let's just hope they pay. It's one thing to say it, it's another thing to implement it.
You talked about the states that have said that they cannot pay, and you mentioned that it is absurd and all of that. But let's look at their reasons now. These state governors have said that they do not have the finance to handle the salaries of these workers if they get to start from 70,000 naira for the lowest level now, talking about that as the minimum wage. Their internally generated revenue would not carry for that. And you know, the governors earlier stated this while the whole conversation was going on between LLC and the president, where they said that they might not be able to do this. They might have to let go of some staff. So in order not to let go of some staff, they will not be able to handle the 70,000 naira. Having in mind that some governors were not even paying the previous minimum wage. Some governors were still on 18,000 naira before the next minimum wage. And even up till now, they're still there. Some governors are still there. So do you see this as an excuse in any way?
It's an excuse. It's an excuse because, one, Nigeria is heavily dependent on our oil revenue. Now, to that effect, they started subsidizing our oil for monies abroad. I pray they don't subject the youth of this country to anarchy. Why am I saying this? With time, we've borrowed so much from China, and we actually exchange our oil, our crude, for monies coming into the country.
Do you have facts to back that statement up?
I have facts. I have figures.
Okay, until we see those facts, we'll see it as just a statement. We do
and
not,
from the news updates we get,
we're not in support of that statement until we see the facts to back it up that Nigeria is selling off all of those things that you said. We've heard a lot of people say that, but those are just sort of Nigerians, allegations until we get facts to back it up. But then back to your statement now, talking about the IGR not being enough to pay the staff.
Now, from the subsidy, they said they are putting more monies into the economy. Is it not? Now, when they put the monies into the economy, what does that mean? They just passed a bill giving local government autonomies. For local governments that were getting 100 million before, some of them are getting monies in billions now. Now, so many of these local government chairmen are empowering people. Now you can't say you can't pay workers 70,000. It is just an additional 40,000. Now, what is the take-home pay of our senators, our lawmakers?
Big question.
What is the take-home pay that see, my dear, let's try to cut down the cost of governance so I will be able to pay people. How will you live as a governor, then you become a senator, and you say an individual cannot be on double salary? Some governors became senators, and they take all that is accrued to them as ex-governors and as senators. Some ex-governors are having over 20 military personnel, cars, and all of that. No.
So you feel there's no state in Nigeria that can claim not to be able to pay 70,000?
There is no state whatsoever, because the excess derived from the subsidy is being shared all over Nigeria.
The fact allocation has been increased. Yes.
That's been upturned. So to that effect, they should be able to pay.
But they said they can't use all their revenue.
Wait, what is the average Nigeria looking for? What are they agitating for? Constant power. Little money here and there. No? Like now, what is the main stake of Nigeria? Oil. Where is the oil coming from? South. Now, when we are talking about the food basket is coming from the north. Is it not? We have the rice pyramid, we have the yam, we have the tomato, and all of that. So we should also sell at the global level.
Yes.
You know, so that it can also increase our GDP.
Talking about
our IGR too.
Yes, talking about what some Nigerian youths need, and you said small money here and there. What are you referring to as small money here and there? No, we have to make it plain so that people don't believe, the people don't think otherwise, right?
Because you see, we have the SMEs. Now, how are the SMEs being funded? That is a story for another day. So, like now, you see these SMEs.
Yes.
The money does not even the interest rate does not go well with the people coming to take the monies.
For the loans?
For the loans.
Okay, SME loans.
Yes, SME loans. So to
You
this
think the
effect,
interest rates are up there? They're too high?
they are just too high. They are just too high. It's not permeable to our business spectrum here in Nigeria. If not, when you look at it holistically, you know that this economy is cash driven. And to this effect, if we don't have essences to mitigate all of this, I can periodically tell you that we have no headway for now.
So still talking about state governors who have said they can't pay, and then your recommendation of cutting down cost of governance. One would want to ask, why is it that a lot of times when there is an issue with the economy of a state, and probably there's not enough funds to pay workers, the first set of workers we are thinking of to owe is the I don't want to say civil servants now, because even leaders are civil servants. We're all working for the government. But then we are thinking the first people that we think should suffer for that are the people earning lower income in the hierarchy of the civil service. Why is that? When you see there's no money in the state to pay workers, the leaders in that state will definitely be paid. You will not hear that the Senate are being owed, or the reps in that state are being owed. But then we'll hear that the people earning minimum wage are not being paid.
Now you look at it, the governments have the onuses and wherewithal to hire and fire. And those earning what we call slave wage today don't have a say. No? Can the government owe the senators? They cannot.
So why can they owe the minimum wage earners?
So why should they be owing the minimum wage earners? That is why I made reference to Egypt. If it's in Egypt, there will be Occupy Egypt until there is a change.
Okay. All right. Nigerians have protested, and they're planning to have another protest come October, the fearless protest. And you talked about occupying the place till there's a change and all of that. Nigerians are actually clamoring for a change. So it's not like we are comfortable with some of the things that we are seeing. And that's why Nigerians took to the streets to talk against bad governance and all of that. But let's go to petrol now.